Let's bring it back to Thanksgiving because we're approaching Thanksgiving, but think about that whole third plate that you're about to eat. Okay, that's like an immediate pleasure. Is it gonna serve you in the long run? How's your stomach gonna be looking the next day? Of $2,000, so $2,000, and I literally finished that thing in 2 weeks. Don't even ask me what I was buying. Don't even ask me what I was buying. Because it definitely wasn't designer. Like back then I wasn't really into designer brands or whatever, and I don't even know where the money went. I kid you not, till today I can't tell you where that money went. Hi lovelies, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm NENGI and I always say to stay subscribed to this channel. Okay, we have an amazing time, we have fun, we vibe, and we keep it hot, honest, open, and transparent. So as you can see from the title of this video, I am basically going to be doing a part 2 of the things I wish I knew in my early 20s. So if you haven't seen the previous one that I did with my girl Prayer, make sure you go check it out. It was a good one, okay? It was hilarious, but it was also very informative and you can definitely learn from it. So without further ado, let's get on into this video. Okay, so number one thing that I wish I knew earlier was definitely self-discipline and self-respect. And this is honestly not just in one area of my life, right? Just in general, honestly. So self-discipline, self-respect, what does that look like? Even with your healthy habits, eating, knowing like exercise is really important, especially as you get older. Because I kid you not, like back in secondary school, I was very sporty and everything. And so I wasn't really checking, oh my gosh, let me check my weight. Let me see how much I weigh, how much fat I've gained, whatever. No, like I was sporty, I used to eat whatever. And, you know, I just used to burn the fat like that, right? So growing up, as I get older, you don't need to know my age, don't worry about it. But as I'm getting older, I just know that your diet and exercise definitely plays a key role in your life. So just having self-discipline and self-respect around that is important. But let's not just talk about diet. Let's talk about even finances. Let's talk about just as a person, all those things that you want now that may not serve you in the long run. Yeah, just having self-discipline and self-respect definitely helps you. But even just knowing your value as a woman or even just as a person, honestly, is definitely key. That is definitely something that I wish I knew earlier. Knowing my value, self-discipline, self-respect. I feel like knowing your value and self-respect go hand in hand. So I wish I knew that earlier, honestly. There's so many mistakes, so many things that, you know, I did in the past that I definitely would not have done if I had more self-respect, self-discipline, and knew my value. So the second thing I'm going to talk about, which I kind of talked about a little bit in the first point, is avoid things that give you immediate pleasure but don't serve you in the long run. You know those things where it's like in the moment, it's like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever, the best feeling ever, whatever. But after a while, you're like, did I even have to eat that? Did I even have to do that? Like, type thing. Yeah, I wish I knew that in my early 20s. Like making literally calculated decisions in life. I think this should have been the point. Making more calculated decisions in life. Really deep in things, right? It's like, okay, I want to do this thing, but how am I going to feel about it the next day or whatever, right? 2 weeks from now, a month from now, whatever it is, right? Whether it's with your finances, personal things that you're doing, or even just again, back to eating habits. You're eating this whole cake now, or let's bring it back to Thanksgiving because we're approaching Thanksgiving, but think about that whole third plate that you're about to eat. Okay, that's like an immediate pleasure. Is it going to serve you in the long run? How's your stomach going to be looking the next day? Silence. But yeah, so things that give you immediate pleasure, you definitely want to avoid those things and always make calculated decisions. Always think about the consequences of your actions, basically. So that's definitely one thing I wish I knew in my early 20s, you know, really deeping things and making better decisions in life, basically. So the third thing I want to talk about is better money management. Basically, better financial literacy. I wish I knew this in my early 20s for sure. I would have been collecting some bags for real. So I literally remember in college, my dad used to give me and my sister allowance, just to help you get through the month or whatever extra. Obviously, they pay school fees, all that stuff, and this is just allowance to help you get through the month, food, whatever it is you may need. And I'm not gonna say how much I was getting, but for sure, I could have saved. I could have saved if I saved, even if it was just, let's say 200, 300, 400 a month, bro, and invested that money as well. Oh, I would have been cashing out right now, like honestly. So honestly, I really, really, really wish I knew about finances earlier on in life, and that's definitely something that I know for a fact I'm going to teach my kids because I think it's so important. It's Let me tell you about this one time in college. So this was literally my very first year in school, and I had just got into school. Mind you, my parents, my sister, they all dropped me off in school. Meaning, and I don't know if it's like an African thing or like a Nigerian thing, whatever. But when your parents drop you off, they usually make sure like they buy you everything you need, like all the provisions you need. So your beddings, your I don't know trash can for your dorm, your towel, whatever, all the big stuff, literally everything you need, clothes, everything, right? And so my parents had already bought me everything, right? Tell me why my dad gave me an allowance of, I guess the story will make more sense if I say the amount. But anyways, my dad gave me an allowance of 2 grand, so $2,000, and I literally finished that thing in 2 weeks. Don't even ask me what I was buying. Don't even ask me what I was buying because it definitely wasn't designer. Like back then, I wasn't really into designer brands or whatever. And I don't even know where the money went. I kid you not. Till today, I can't tell you where that money went. So honestly, I wish I had better financial literacy. And obviously, like people are probably looking at me like, "Oh, you probably spend ridiculously." No, obviously, like my dad cautioned me for that, and I was like, "Then take better care of your money, whatever, whatever." So I was not spending like that anymore. But yeah, so that's just a bare example of what not having proper financial literacy can do to a person, right? So I think it's so, so important. And so I wish I knew that in my early 20s for sure. So the fourth thing I wish I knew in my early 20s was building solid friendships and relationships early on in life that can literally help you in the long run. And what this looks like is like a proper support system. Not friends that is always just like, oh, they only call you when they want something, or you only call them when you want something, or it's just like party, party, whatever, whatever. But like proper people that like, how are you doing? Like, how was your week? Are you okay? Like, are you good? And people that literally notice like if there's a shift in your mood or a shift in your just how you normally are, right? Those are the people you definitely want around you. Those are the people that really love and care for you. And so just building solid friendships that help you in the long run. You don't want competitive friends, people that like, oh, I knew about this, let's say this money like maker or whatever, and then you don't want to share it with you because it's like, oh, I want to be richer than you in the future or something. Very silly, okay? You don't want friends like that. So definitely friends that you can grow with, people that give you proper advice, like let's say if it's financial advice, whatever, emotional advice, like just proper friends that have sense, okay? Friends that have sense. Friends that have proper wisdom, friends that can help you grow even spiritually, okay? These are the type of friends you want like early on in life because when you have friends like this, the amount of mistakes you will make in life, because let's not lie, let's not cap. We are gonna make mistakes in life. Like nobody's perfect. We're prone to mistakes. But when you have the right support system, when you have the right community around you, the amount of mistakes you make in life will be way less. It will be far less than if you have the wrong type of crowd, the wrong type of people around you. So definitely having the right type of friends, the right support system early on in life is key. And so this is something I wish I knew in my early 20s. I mean, to be fair, I think it's important to know, but I'm honestly also glad for the type of friends I have now and the type of friends I had then. It definitely wasn't as bad. So the fifth thing I wish I knew in my early 20s, honestly, is focusing on what is really important in life. Like, maybe not even just focusing, but even just knowing what is really important in this life. Is it being seen? Is it getting likes on Instagram? Is it, I don't know, being the most popular person or whatever? But definitely, you want to make sure you're focusing on the right things in life early on in life so that your life later on will be better, right? I already spoke about financial literacy, but other things are important, right? Spiritual growth, like your relationship with God, friends, family. Because I'm not gonna lie, like growing up, especially let me say when I was in primary school, secondary school, high school, I guess, for my foreigners. But basically, I wouldn't say I wasn't really a family person, but I wasn't really one to pick up the phone and call my family from boarding school, right? Because they used to allow us to call, our family and everything. So I was the one to just pick up the phone and call my family, like, oh, how you guys doing? That I was just in tuned on, oh, what's happening now, whatever type thing, right? So growing up now, I definitely know the value of family, friends, things like that. And so just focusing on the right things early in life would definitely help you in the long run. And so that is something I definitely wish I knew in my early 20s. So when I talk about things that are important in life and things I wish I knew obviously earlier, also self-development, self-growth. I already spoke about self-discipline, self-respect, which are obviously part of bettering yourself, self-development, self-growth. But I definitely think these are key things in life that are important. I've also talked about love in a different video, showing more love. And I already talked about having a proper and firm relationship in God, having your firm faith in God, and putting all your trust in God and things like that. So these are definitely key things in life. I will stand on this. These are key things in life that I definitely wish I knew in my early 20s. So rounding up, the last thing that I would say I wish I knew is progress is more important than results. Literally the process, not just even progress, right? Because progress is the process, but the process of getting there is more important than just the mere results. It's kind of like how, let's say in school, right? Secondary school, and basically when you're doing like a math exam or a math test, whatever, the teacher's always like, make sure you show working, right? Like make sure you write how you got to the end, right? And so this is the same thing in life. I feel like the process of how you got there is always more important. And I kind of key this back to the experiences you have in life, right? You learn from them, right? These are the processes you went through, the experiences that you went through are more important than just the results. Because let's be honest, like let me give an example of what I'm trying to say, because I feel like it's kind of hard for me to get out what I'm trying to say, but let me give an example that might make more sense to the viewers. So let me give this example, right? Let's think of, let's say a chase or whatever, and this is depending on the guys, right? So I know that there's some guys, and I've spoken to guys obviously or whatever, I have guy friends, and some guys are literally like the chase is more important than just getting the girl outright, right? Some guys actually enjoy the chase. They want to know that this girl is hard to get, and usually the ones that are harder to get are the ones that that you really want to keep type thing. It's the same thing. If you work so hard for something, the way you value it more than if you just got it outright is like you can see the difference, right? So it's the same thing in life. I feel like are there certain experiences or certain processes that we go through that because of the process, the thing, whatever it is that we wanted, that we went through in life, the results are going to be sweeter. Like the results are going to have more value. So just think of the progress, whatever progress you're making in life, whatever process you're going through, it is more important than just the mere results. When I talk about progress, it also keys back to what exactly are you trying to achieve? What is your end goal, right? What is the result you're trying to achieve? And so obviously when you're going through your process, you're making progress through it, just know that any progress is still a win, right? And yeah, so that is all I have for this video today. And just make sure you let me know in the comments section what are things that you wish you knew in your early 20s. And be sure to check out my other video featuring prayer, where we spoke about things that we wish we knew in our early 20s. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, okay? Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!